The door creaked open like a gunshot in the silence, and there I was, buck naked, heart slamming against my ribs, the cool air of the old barn storeroom biting into my skin. Jeffrey's silhouette filled the frame, his broad shoulders blocking the late afternoon sun, and for a split second, time froze, his blue eyes widening in disbelief, my hands fumbling for a towel that wasn't there. Jesus Christ. Alex, he whispered, voice cracking like dry thunder. What the hell are you doing? I bolted upright from the hay bale, my face burning hotter than a 4th of July sparkler. But it wasn't shame that pinned me there. It was the way his gaze lingered, not in disgust, but in something dangerously close to hunger. That look shattered every family barbecue lie we'd ever told ourselves about being just cousins. And in the heartbeat before he slammed the door shut behind him, I knew this summer on the family farm in rural Ohio was about to burn us both alive. We'd come back to the old homestead after our freshman year at Ohio State, me, Alex Harper, the quiet art major with a sketchbook full of secrets, and Jeffrey, the golden boy, star quarterback with a trail of cheerleaders and a smile that could charm the devil. Uncle Ray's farm was supposed to be our escape. A place to mend fences after Dad's divorce hit me like a freight train, and Jeffrey's scholarship pressure was grinding him down. But from the first night, with crickets chorusing outside our shared attic room, the air between us hummed with unspoken static. I'd always idolized him, 4 years older, built like a oak tree, with that easy laugh that made the world feel safe. He was straight as an arrow, or so everyone said, including him, until that storeroom door swung wide. He didn't run, didn't yell, just stood there, door clicking shut, the lock of his jaw the only sound besides my ragged breaths. Jeff, dude, I was just changing after the fence work. Swear to God, lies tumbled out, but my voice was a wreck, and the towel I'd finally snatched hung limp in my fist, barely covering the evidence of my solo thoughts that had starred him one too many times. His eyes flicked down, then back up, a storm brewing in those blues. Changing. Right. He stepped closer, boots scuffing the dirt floor, the scent of sweat and fresh-cut grass clinging to him like a second skin. The storeroom was a tomb of forgotten farm life. Rusted tools, sacks of seed corn, shadows dancing from the single bulb overhead. No escape. You've been weird all week, Alex. Sneaking off, avoiding me. Thought maybe you were on something. But this, his hand gestured vaguely at me, and damn if it didn't tremble. I wanted to vanish, to rewind to breakfast when he'd ruffled my hair and called me little bro, like nothing had cracked between us. But the vulnerability hit like a wave, naked in every sense, my walls stripped bare. It's not what you think, I choked out, but it was everything he shouldn't think. The truth I'd buried under layers of denial, that every stolen glance at his shirtless runs along the creek, every accidental brush of arms during chores, had carved a hollow in me that only he could fill. Jeffrey exhaled, running a hand through his sun-bleached hair, and for the first time, I saw the fracture lines in his perfect facade. Sit down before you pass out. He grabbed an old blanket from a shelf, tossing it my way without looking. I wrapped it around myself, sinking onto the hay, knees to chest. He paced, a caged lion, then stopped, leaning against a beam so close I could count the freckles across his nose. Talk to me. For real this time. The words clawed up my throat, bitter and sweet. I like you, Jeff. More than I should. More than cousins. More than friends. It spilled out in a rush, the confession I'd rehearsed in mirrors but never dared voice. His face went slack, then twisted shock, confusion, a flicker of revulsion? No, something else. Fear. Alex. He sank down across from me, elbows on knees, close enough that our breaths mingled. That's not, we can't. But his voice broke, and his hand, unthinking, reached out to grip my knee through the blanket. Warm. Steady. I'm not. I mean, girls. Always girls. That's me. I nodded, throat tight, but didn't pull away. I know. Forget I said it. Please. The plea hung there, fragile as spider silk. He didn't forget. That night, after we'd stumbled back to the house like ghosts, Aunt Lila none the wiser over pot roast, the attic felt electric. I lay on my cot, staring at the slanted ceiling beams, replaying his touch. Footsteps creaked. Jeffrey's mattress groaned as he shifted. You asleep? His whisper sliced the dark. No, heart pounding. A long pause, then me neither. What you said. It's messing with me. Rustle of sheets. He sat up, silhouette against the moonlit window. I've thought about it too. Stuff I shouldn't. Like, what if? The air thickened. I propped on an elbow, shadows hiding my flush. What if what? You. Us. The words were gravel. Raw. He stood, crossing the gap in 2 strides, dropping onto the edge of my bed. His weight dipped the mattress, and suddenly he was there, inches away, heat radiating. Show me, he murmured, voice low and wrecked. Show me what you meant in there. My pulse thundered. This was madness, taboo wrapped in moonlight. But I leaned in, tentative, my hand finding his jaw, rough with stubble, warm as summer soil. His breath hitched, and then our lips met, clumsy, desperate, tasting of regret and revelation. He pulled back first, eyes wild. Fuck, he breathed, but dove back in, hungrier, his fingers tangling in my hair. We didn't sleep that night. Hands explored in the dark, hesitant at first, then bold, mapping territories we'd only dreamed of. Whispers of "this doesn't change anything" mingled with gasps that said it changed everything. By dawn, tangled in sweat-damp sheets, Jeffrey traced circles on my chest, his head on my shoulder. We're screwed, aren't we? He said, half laughing, half broken. Yeah, I whispered, kissing his temple. But worth it. The next weeks blurred into a fever dream of stolen moments. Mornings chopping wood, his arm brushing mine with intent now, sparks flying. Afternoons swimming in the creek, bodies slick and clothes under the water, laughter masking the pull. Evenings in the fields, where he'd pin me against a haystack for a kiss that left us both shaking. Jeffrey was a revelation. Tender 1 minute, fierce the next, his straight-laced world cracking open to let me in. You're the only one who sees me, he'd say, voice muffled against my neck. Not the QB, not the family golden boy. Just me. I fell harder with every heartbeat. Jason entered the picture like a shadow at the edge of paradise. A mutual friend from college, crashing the farm for a weekend barbecue. Tall, lanky artist type with ink-stained fingers and a crooked grin. He was the kind of guy who quoted Kerouac over beers and sketched nudes without blinking. We'd hooked up once freshman year, a fumbling experiment in a dorm lounge, but it was nothing like this wildfire with Jeffrey. Jason clocked it immediately. You two are glowing, he teased over burgers. winking at me while Jeffrey flipped patties, oblivious. Like, disgustingly. Later, by the bonfire, with sparks dancing like fireflies, Jason cornered me while Jeffrey fetched more wood. He's straight, right? Or is this the summer of revelations? I shrugged, sipping my beer, the warmth of Jeffrey's earlier kiss still tingling. It's complicated. Complicated's my middle name. Jason's eyes sparkled, mischief laced with something sharper. If it crashes, you know where to find me. Should have been a warning. But in those sun-soaked days, betrayal felt like a distant storm cloud. The first crack came mid-July, heat wave turning the farm into a sauna. Uncle Ray announced the annual county fair booths, rides, the whole Americana shebang, and insisted we all go. To blow off steam, Jeffrey and I exchanged loaded glances over breakfast, the promise of a night away from prying eyes electric. But Jason extended his stay for the vibes, tagged along, his presence a third wheel grinding against our rhythm. At the fair, under strings of bulb lights and the scent of fried dough, we lost ourselves. Jeffrey won me a stuffed bear at the ring toss, his arms slung casual around my shoulders for anyone watching. Cousins, after all. For my favorite troublemaker, he murmured, nipping my ear when no one looked. Jason watched from the sidelines, nursing a corn dog, his sketchpad out, capturing the chaos in quick strokes. Later, on the Ferris wheel, Jeffrey and I crammed in one car, Jason waving from below, the world shrank to us. His hand on my thigh, creeping higher as we crested the top, city lights sprawling like a promise. I love you, he said, the words slipping out unplanned, raw as an open wound. I froze, then melted, kissing him deep as the wheel dipped. Love. It hung there, terrifying and true. But descending, reality crashed back. Jason waited, eyes narrowed. Miss me? He quipped, but his tone was off. Jealous? Hurt? We brushed it off, diving into the midway games. But the seed was planted. That night, back at the farm, thunder rumbled distant. Jeffrey and I slipped away to the old oak behind the barn, blankets spread under stars, bodies joining in a rhythm that drowned out the world. It was our most reckless yet, urgent, whispered vows against skin. No one else, he groaned, holding me like I'd vanish. Ever, I believed him. God, I did. The betrayal hit like lightning the next morning. I woke alone in the attic, Jeffrey's cot empty, the air heavy with rain scent. Downstairs, Aunt Lila hummed in the kitchen. Uncle Ray was out mending fences. No sign of Jeffrey. I wandered the yard, sketchpad in hand, doodling the curve of his smile, when voices drifted from the storeroom, the same damn room where it all ignited. Peeking through the cracked door, my stomach plummeted. Jeffrey, shirtless, pressed against the wall, Jason's hands on his chest, lips locked in a kiss that mirrored our own. Not tentative. Not exploratory. Hungry. Betraying. I staggered back, while rising, the sketchpad crumpling in my fist. How long? Since the fair? Before? The questions clawed. But the image burned. Jeffrey's hands in Jason's hair, pulling closer, a moan escaping that I'd thought was mine alone. I ran blind, furious, crashing through the cornfield, stalks whipping my face like accusations. Rain started, fat drops soaking me to the bone, mirroring the flood inside. Betrayal wasn't just the act. It was the lie we'd built our fragile world on. He was straight, he'd said. experimenting, he'd whispered. But this was choice. By the creek, collapsed, sobs racking me, the water rushing indifferent. Hours passed, or minutes, time blurred. Footsteps splashed. Jeffrey's voice, panicked. Alex, God, Alex, wait. I whipped around, rain streaming down my face, masking tears. Don't. Just don't. He skidded to a halt, drenched, eyes red-rimmed. It's not, he kissed me. Pushed him away. Swear. Liar. The word lashed out, venomous. I saw you. In there. Same spot you caught me. His face crumpled. I was confused. Okay. After what I said last night. Love? That's huge. Scary. Jason's been pushing, saying it's normal, that it's just guys messing around. But I told him no. I stopped it. Too late. My voice cracked. The hurt a living thing. You let him touch you. After everything. Thunder boomed, and he stepped closer, desperate. I love you, Alex. Not him. This us, it's real. He's nothing, but doubt poisoned it all. Jason slunk out later, mumbling apologies over coffee, his eyes avoiding mine. It was a mistake. Heat of the moment. Jeffrey glared daggers, but the damage festered. Trust, once shattered, cuts deep. The days dragged, a minefield. Jeffrey tried, flowers from the roadside, notes slipped under my pillow, nights where he'd hold me wordless, body language pleading forgiveness. I wanted to believe, to sink back into that bliss, but the ghost of Jason's hands haunted every touch. And Jason, he lingered, to make amends, his presence a thorn, sketching me from afar with eyes that said unfinished business. Climax brewed at the harvest dance, the county's big blowout in the Grange Hall, fiddles and boot stomps, neighbors 3 sheets to the wind. Jeffrey cornered me in the truck on the way, hand on my knee. Dance with me tonight. Like we're normal. Please. I nodded. Hollow. Normal. What a joke. The hall pulsed with life. Lanterns swinging. Laughter echoing off rafters. Jason arrived fashionably late, charming the ants with tall tales, but his gaze tracked us like a hawk. Jeffrey pulled me onto the floor for a slow one, bodies close in the sway, his chin on my shoulder. See? We can do this. His breath was whiskey warm, words slurring soft. Too soft. Mid-song. He slipped away for one more drink. I waited, nursing punch, until Jason sidled up, cologne sharp. He's wasted. Might need backup. Dread coiled. I pushed through the crowd, out to the shadowed porch, where voices carried low. Can't keep pretending, Jeffrey slurred. Slumped against the rail. Jason too close, hand steadying his arm. Pretending what? That you're not bi? That this isn't you? Jason's tone was coaxing, intimate. Jeffrey laughed, bitter. Alex thinks it's forever. But what if it's not? What if I'm just broken? The words eviscerated me. Broken. Not us, me. I stepped into the light, voice steel. Then let me go. They spun. Jeffrey's eyes cleared, horrified. Alex, no. Jason smirked, but it faltered. This isn't. Shut up, I roared, the dam breaking. Both of you. Jeffrey, you're right. It's not forever if it's built on maybes. Tears hot, I shoved past. Into the night, the music mocking from behind. He chased, stumbling, grabbing my arm at the truck. Don't leave. I didn't mean, fuck. Alex, you're everything. Jason's poison. I see it now. Punches flew then. Not at me, but Jason, bursting out, goading. Fight for him, QB. Or are you all talk? Jeffrey swung wild, connecting with a crack that echoed. Blood Jason's nose, a spray against the porch light. Chaos erupted, shouts, Uncle Ray hauling them apart, ants fluttering like hens. In the melee, Jeffrey turned to me, lips split, eyes pleading. Fight for us. Please. I walked away. Not because I stopped loving him, God. No. Because love isn't enough when trust is ash. The fallout was biblical. Jason packed that night, tires spitting gravel, a terse sorry tossed like scraps. Family whispers swirled, boys will be boys, but the knowing looks lingered. Jeffrey holed up, silent, his scholarship dreams cracking under the weight of it all. I stayed a week more, sketching furiously, his profile in the dawn light, the storeroom's ghosts, pouring pain onto paper. One rainy afternoon, he found me there, among the tools and memories. I'm sorry, he said, no preamble, kneeling in the dirt. For the doubt. For Jason. For being scared of what you make me feel. I looked up, pencil still. And now, I choose you. All in. No more hiding. His hand extended, palm up, vulnerable, open. The choice loomed, a chasm. Run back to college alone. Walls rebuilt, or leap, scars and all? We leaped. Not perfect therapy sessions via Zoom. Awkward family talks where cousins became found family. Jeffrey came out that fall, quiet but sure. His team rallying in ways small-town Ohio shouldn't allow. Me? I painted our story, storeroom shadows, creek kisses, betrayal's bite hung in a Columbus gallery, titled, Fractured Light. Years on, in a cramped Brooklyn apartment, Jeffrey proposes over takeout, ring from a pawn shop etched with our initials. Changed everything, he says, echoing that first shattered door. And it did. Not into perfection, but into something human, flawed, fierce, ours. Love isn't a straight line. It's the detour that carves the deepest path home. The proposal wasn't fireworks and violins. It was Jeffrey on one knee amid greasy low main cartons, his QB hands trembling as he fumbled the ring. The kind of cheap silver band that screamed, "We're figuring this out." Brooklyn's summer humidity clung to us like an old habit, the window AC rattling an off-key serenade. Marry me, Alex. Make this mess official? His grin was lopsided, scarred lip from that Grange Hall brawl pulling tight. But his eyes, those damn blue storms, held steady. I laughed through tears, pulling him up into a kiss that tasted of soy sauce and second chances. Yeah. Hell yes. No grand gestures. Just us, two guys from Ohio dirt roads, rewriting the script in a city that didn't give a damn about bloodlines. But rewind. That leap from the storeroom? It wasn't clean. The week after the dance, with bruises fading and apologies hanging heavy, we drove back to Columbus in Uncle Ray's old Ford, radio crackling with country ballads that hit too close. Jeffrey's hand stayed laced in mine over the gearshift, a silent vow, but silence breeds ghosts. Jason's specter loomed, texts I deleted unread, rumors filtering through college grapevine. Heard your cousins got a wild side, freshman orientation week, and the campus buzzed like a hive. I dove into art classes, charcoal smudging my fingers black as my doubts. while Jeffrey hit the field, shoulder pads at armor against whispers. We met in stolen pockets. Library stacks where he'd press me against dusty tomes, breath hot on my neck. Dorm parking lot at midnight, truck cab fogging with our heat. "You're mine," he'd growl, possessive, erasing Jason's echo with every thrust. But cracks spiderwebbed. His teammates ribbed him. "Harper's got you whipped." Jokes landing like jabs. One night, post-practice, he stumbled into my dorm reeking of beer and regret. "They know, Alex. About us. Some asshole saw us last week." My stomach nodded. "And," he paced, "caged animal. I told him to fuck off. But it's out. No more hiding." Pride swelled, but fear nipped at its heels. What if the weight crushed him? Nearly did. 2 weeks in, the betrayal's aftershock hit. A party at the frat house. Sigma Chi's annual kegger, where Jeffrey vanished into the throng. I nursed a solo cup in the corner, sketching party chaos, togaed coeds, beer pong wars, when laughter erupted from the backyard. Pushing through, I found him, Jeffrey, cornered by a cluster of jocks. Jason at the center like a ringleader returned from exile. Jason had transferred, unannounced, uninvited, chasing art cred at state, his grin sharp as broken glass. "Surprise. Farm boy," he clapped Jeffrey's shoulder. "Too familiar," and the group howled as Jason mimed a kiss, twisting our story into punchline fodder. Jeffrey shoved him off, face thunderous. "Back off, man. We're done." "Done? You begged for it. Remember." Jason's voice slithered, loud enough for echoes. The circle tightened, phones out, recording the takedown. I surged forward, heart hammering. "Jason, walk away." My voice was calm, but inside, rage boiled, this parasite, feeding on our wounds. He turned, eyes gleaming. "Protective. Huh? Cute. Tell me, Alex, does he whisper your name when he's with me?" The lie landed like a gut punch. Jeffrey lunged, fists flying again, but this time the pack piled on, shoves, shouts, a chair toppling. I dove in, pulling him back, tasting blood from a split knuckle. Security swarmed, hauling us apart, the night dissolving into warnings and walk-homes under street lamp glow. In my dorm, stitches from the infirmary nurse, Jeffrey broke. "He's lying. I swear." Sobs racked him, big shoulders heaving. "But what if they're right? What if I'm the joke?" I held him then, fierce, our roles reversed. "You're no joke. You're mine." That night, we made love slow, not the frantic farm passion, but deliberate, healing. Fingers tracing scars, mouths mapping forgiveness. Dawn found us tangled, his head on my chest, heartbeat sinking like a lullaby. Jason didn't quit easy. He haunted the edges. Accidental run-ins at the union. Sketches of us left in my mailbox. Distorted, accusatory. "See the truth," one note read. Nod. But Jeffrey's resolve hardened. He came out fully, team meeting, coach's office, even a campus paper interview. "Yeah, I'm gay. Dating my cousin? Blood don't define love." The backlash roared, tweets, protests, a petition to bench him, but so did the support. Rainbow flags on dorms, allies in the stands. Midterms blurred by stress-fueled all-nighters where we'd cram side by side, feet hooked under the table. One evening, buried in psych notes, Jeffrey looked up, pen tapping. "What if we told the family?" For real. My pencil stilled. Aunt Lila? Uncle Ray? They'd disown us. Or not. His optimism, that farm boy faith, tugged at me. They're good people. And if they can't handle it, we walk. Together, we drove home Thanksgiving, palms sweaty, pie as peace offering. The kitchen smelled of turkey and tension. Aunt Lila's hug lingered too long. Uncle Ray's handshake firm but eyes searching. Over pie, Jeffrey cleared his throat. We got something to say. The words tumbled. Cousins, yes. Lovers, too. Silence stretched. Eternal. Then Aunt Lila teared up, squeezing my hand. Knew you boys were close. Just be safe. And happy. Uncle Ray grunted, then pulled Jeffrey into a bear hug. Love's love. Don't let idiots tell you different. Relief flooded, sweet as cider. That night, in the attic, our origin room, we celebrated quiet. Slow dances to radio static, bodies rediscovering home. Winter quarter brought snow and solace. Jeffrey's game highlights played on ESPN. Rainbow pins winking on commentators' laps. Jason faded, expelled after a plagiarism bust. His sketches exposed as stolen. Poetic justice. We joked, but it closed a chapter. Spring thaw mirrored our thaw. Campus cherry blossoms rained petals as we picnicked by the Scioto. Jeffrey's head in my lap, my fingers in his hair. Future, he murmured. NYC. Galleries for me, coaching for you. Dreams spoken aloud, tangible. But life twists. Summer back on the farm, rebuilding fences literal and not. A letter arrived, Dad, post-divorce, inviting me to his new life in Cali. Miss you, son. Bring the boyfriend. Jeffrey read over my shoulder, grinning. Road trip. We flew west, beaches, boardwalks, hands held unashamed. Dad's hug was awkward but real, his partner a quiet anchor. Proud of you, he said, eyes misty. Healing, layered. Fall senior year. Jeffrey scouted by NFL scouts. Pressure mounting. I prepped portfolio. Nerves electric. One night, post-win party, he found me sketching in the stands. Alex Harper, future star. Kiss under goalposts. Cheers fading. Graduation dawned crisp. Caps sailed. Then we packed a U-Haul for Brooklyn. Jason's ghost? A footnote. Betrayal? Fertilizer for growth. Our first apartment. Leaky faucet. Roach symphonies. But ours. Jeffrey coached Pee-wee. I slung lattes while querying galleries. Nights. Cooking fails. Movie marathons. Love that deepened, lazy Sundays. Arguments over dishes that ended in laughter. The proposal, that messy magic. Ring on finger. We danced in the kitchen to Springsteen. Ohio roots in New York soil. Years stack. My exhibit in Chelsea. His assistant coach gig with the Jets. Family visits. Farm Christmases with rainbow ornaments. We adopt a mutt. Name him Scout. Watch him chase squirrels in Prospect Park. Betrayals fade, but lessons linger. Love's not absence of storm, but dancing in it. Jeffrey, my straight cousin once, now my everything. Changed? Utterly. For the better. Brooklyn hardened us soft. 5 years in, and the city's grind, subway sardine cans. Rent hikes like gut punches. Tested the seams we'd mended. Jeffrey's coaching whistle blew sharper. His temper flaring at refs who didn't get the game. While my canvases piled in the corner. Unsold. Whispers of sell out from gallery snobs echoing Dad's old divorce rants. But mornings, coffee black, his arms slung over my waist, murmurs of "we got this," those anchored us. The call came on a drizzly Tuesday, Jeffrey's phone buzzing mid-bite of bagel. Coach Mac, his face lit, then shadowed. NFL? Me? I hooped, tackling him over the table, but his hug was fierce, laced with fear. Head coach for the Jets practice squad? Alex, this is it. It was. Promotions cascaded, media spots, endorsement deals, his face on billboards overlooking the Queensboro. From Ohio hay to New York pay, he joked at our anniversary dinner, fancy steakhouse, candles flickering like farm fireflies. But the spotlight scorched. Paparazzi hounds at games, tabloids dredging our scandalous start, cousins in love, the queer quarterback's secret. I shielded him best I could, but envy crept, insidious. My art stagnated. A solo show bombed, critics calling it maudlin Americana. Nights, I'd stare at blank walls while he scrolled plays on his iPad, the distance growing inch by inch. Enter Mark, team publicist, all slick suits and sharper smiles, assigned to polish the brand. He swept in like a PR tornado, photo ops, coming out panels, even pitching a memoir, Gridiron Hearts, a love story. Jeffrey bloomed under it, his stutter gone in interviews, charm dialed to 11. Mark's a genius, he'd say, late nights at the office bleeding into dawn. I nodded, sketching his profile from memory, but the lines blurred. Mark's hand on his shoulder in Instapics, laughs shared over craft beers. Echoes of Jason, faint but there. Just work, I'd remind myself, but doubt whispered louder. The conflict ignited at the ESPYs, red carpet glitz amid Hollywood excess. Jeffrey in tailored tux, me in thrift shop chic, arm in arm for the cameras. Couple goals, fans cooed, but backstage, Mark hovered. One more shot, Jeff. Smile bigger. His fingers lingered on Jeffrey's tie, adjusting, intimate. Post-show after-party, champagne flowing. I lost him in the crush. Scanning velvet-roped chaos, I spotted them. Balcony overlook, city lights sprawling. Mark's head close to Jeffrey's. Words urgent. She's perfect for the image. Straight wife. Queer coach edgy. Relatable. A woman's name? Some actress. Arm candy for optics. My blood iced. Betrayal. Round 2 not flesh, but soul. I stormed out. Cab ride a blur. Apartment door slamming like that storeroom echo. He burst in at 3 a.m. Ty askew. Eyes wild. Alex, what happened? You ghosted. I whirled from the easel. Brush dripping crimson. Heard enough. Straight wife? After everything. His face drained. Mark's pitching bullshit. Brand strategy. I shut it down, told him we're solid. No games. But you listened. The accusation hung. Venom sweet. Let him in our heads again. Thunder outside mirrored the storm. Jeffrey sank onto the couch, head in hands. I'm scared. Okay, the league's a shark tank. Gays in suits, but queers like us, token at best. Mark says compromise. Just a little. Compromise us? I laughed. Bitter. Like Jason? Like pretending? He surged up, closing the gap. No. Never. Hands cupped my face, thumbs brushing tears I hadn't felt. You're my compass. Always. We crashed then. Furious, Forgiving bodies colliding in the dark, reclaiming territory. But dawn brought fragile peace, cracks visible. Mark didn't vanish. He adapted, family man angles, puff pieces on our wholesome love. Sales spiked for my art, ironic, feeding off the facade. But resentment simmered. Jeffrey's schedule ballooned. Away games, endorsements leaving me to solo gallery crawls, where flirtations tempted like sirens. One night, post-loss game, he came home hollow-eyed, bottle in hand. Fans chanted slurs tonight. Fag coach, Mark says ignore, but he trailed, collapsing beside me. I pulled him close, heart aching. Then fight. Like we did. He nodded, but the seed sprouted, doubt in his touch, hesitation in kisses. A week later, overheard call, Mark. Yeah. The compromise. Maybe. Just to shut them up. Rage blinded. I packed a bag, symbolic, stupid, crashing at Dad's in Cali for space. The flight was purgatory. Memories assaulting. Storeroom shock. Creek confessions. Brooklyn vows. Text from Jeffrey. Don't. Please. Talk. I landed silent. Waves crashing like accusations. Dad's beach house smelled of salt and sage. His partner, Tom, brewed tea. Ice kind. Love's a beast, he said. No judgment. Your old man's learned that twice. Days blurred. Surf lessons. Sketchpads filled with ocean fury. Jeffrey's voicemails piled, raw, wrecked. I was stupid. Mark's out. Hired a new guy. Come home. Home. The word pulled. But betrayal's sting demanded more. Climax crashed mid-visit. News alert on Tom's phone. Jets coach in scandal. Alleged affair with publicist. Grainy photo, Jeffrey and Mark. Hotel bar. Arms slung casual. Caption. Trouble in queer paradise? My world tilted. Flight back. Economy hell. Landing in storm-lashed JFK. Cab to the apartment. Key trembling in lock. Empty. Note on counter. At the field. Wait for me. I didn't. Subway to MetLife. Tailgating fans a blur. Sideline chaos, press. Players Jeffrey barking plays. Sweat slick. Unaware. Halftime whistle. I stormed the tunnel. Security parting at my glare. Alex. He froze mid-huddle. Helmet off. Hair matted. Teammates scattered. Sensing inferno. Explain. Voice ice. Photo thrust from my phone. His eyes widened. Then shuddered. It's nothing. PR dinner. Mark twisted it. Twisted? Like your maybe? Hurt erupted. Sobs choking. I'm done being the punchline. He grabbed my arm. Pulling into the locker room shadows. Jerseys dangling like ghosts. No. Listen, I fired him. Yesterday. After your texts. The photo's old. Doctored for clicks. Proof tumbled from his phone. Termination email. Time-stamped pre-scandal. Relief ward with exhaustion. Why lie? Again? Not lying. Protecting. His voice cracked. Forehead to mine. From myself. From losing you. The dam burst. Tears. Shouts. Then silence heavy. We can't keep this, I whispered. The hiding. The maybes. It's killing us. He nodded. Wrecked. Then let's end it. The fear. Full-out press conference. Tell the world we're unbreakable. Risky. Career suicide? Maybe. But his eyes burned certain. Next morning, ESPN Studios. Jeffrey at podium, me beside, hands clasped under table. Rumors? Bullshit. My partner's my rock. We're engaged for real. No image. Just love. Flashbulbs popped. Questions flew. He fielded fierce. Slurs called out. Mark outed as leech. Backlash hit. Sponsors dropped. Tweets torched. But allies surged. Glad endorsements. Fan letters by the crate. My art exploded post-confab. Unbreakable series. Sold out in Soho. Jeffrey, demoted, then rehired by a progressive owner. Coaching with fire renewed. We rebuilt. Couples therapy in Central Park. Date nights at dive bars. Scout the dog as furry mediator. Betrayal's scar? Faint. A reminder. Vulnerability's the glue. Anniversary 10. Farm visit. Aunt Lila's pie. Uncle Ray's toast. To detours. Jeffrey's arm around me. Ring glinting, simple, eternal. Changed everything? Still. Every damn day. Decade markers sneak up like autumn fog. Subtle, then all-encompassing. 10 years post-Storeroom. And we'd traded Brooklyn's concrete for a Jersey suburb split. Split-level house with a yard for scout zoom eyes. My studio in the garage overlooking manicured lawns. Jeffrey's office stacked with playbooks and kid-signed jerseys. Stability suited us, or so I thought, until the quiet started screaming. It began innocuous. Jeffrey's laugh shorter, his post-game decompressions stretching into solo bar runs. Distressing, he'd say, pecking my cheek, but the scent of bourbon lingered longer than before. My exhibits toured now LA, Chicago, leaving him to rattle in the empty house. Phone calls laced with static. Miss you. Hurry back. One tour stop. Miami heat wave. I FaceTimed home. He answered from the kitchen. Smile tight. Hey, handsome. Sell out the show. Close. Pause. Background noise. TV? No. Voices. Muffled laughter. Company. Just the guys. Team thing. Click. Off too quick. Doubt. That old bastard. Slithered back. Jason's ghost long exorcised. Mark's scandal faded to footnote. But patterns persist. Back home. I rifled drawers, nothing overt. But a bar receipt. Scribbled note. Drinks on me. J. R. New assistant coach. Ryan. Fresh-faced rookie. All enthusiasm and easy grins. Who joined last season. Team bonding. Jeffrey shrugged over dinner. Fork spearing steak. Nothing. But eyes avert. Touches perfunctory. Bed became battlefield. Backs turned. Insomnia's war. I painted furious, abstract storms. Reds bleeding black, sold as emotional evolution. But each stroke carved the hollow. Conflict crested at the holiday party. Team gala, black tie under chandeliers, wives and husbands glittering. Ryan cornered me by the bar, champagne flute in hand. Alex, your work's killer. Jeff's lucky. His gaze lingered, appreciative, edged with something. He's the lucky one, I quipped, but unease prickled. Later, spotting them, dance floor edge, Jeffrey's hand on Ryan's elbow, heads bent close over a shared joke. Laughter peeled, genuine, the kind we'd lost. Bathroom escape, mirror stare. Who am I now? The artist, the anchor, or the fool again? Splashing water, resolve hardened. Confront or crumble. Post-party drive, snow flurrying. I broke silence. What's with Ryan? Jeffrey's grip whitened on the wheel. What? Don't. The looks. The late nights. He exhaled. Sharp. Jealous? After all this. Laughter. Hollow. Ryan straight. Alex. Kid brother vibe. Helps with the plays. Like Jason helped? The barb landed. He swerved. Tires crunching curb. Low blow. Voice low. Dangerous. Home in silence. Door slam echoing. Bedroom standoff. Me unpacking overnight bag. Him stripping tux. Talk, I demanded. What's to say? Work's hell. Losses piling. Owners breathing down my neck. Ryan gets it. No pressure. Pressure? I'm pressure. Hurt flared. 10 years. And I'm the burden. He whirled. Eyes flashing. You're everything, but this us it's routine. Safe. And I'm drowning. The confession gutted. Drowning. In success? In us? Then swim out. Or pull me under with you. He reached. Tentative. I flinched. I love you. But maybe. Space. Space. The word eviscerated. Storeroom door slamming anew. I slept on the couch. Scouts whine my lullaby. Dawn brought coffee truce. Counseling, I said. Firm. Or end it. He nodded. Weary. Sessions started Dr. Elena. No nonsense with a Brooklyn twang. Peeling layers like onions. Jeffrey's truth spilled. Burnout. Identity whiplash from straight facade to gay icon. No middle ground. I miss simple, he admitted. Farm days. Before labels. I countered. My fears. Art's isolation. The terror of losing him to complacency. Ryan. Innocent. Elena ruled. Projection. Our ghost haunting. But therapy unearthed deeper. Family visit looming. Uncle Ray's health failing. Cancer. Quiet but cruel. Back to Ohio. Hospital vigils. Aunt Lila's hands ringing rosaries. Jeffrey crumbled bedside. Big man reduced to whispers. What if I end up like him? Alone? You're not. I held him in the hall. Fluorescent buzz mocking. We're not. Ray's passing was gentle. Last words to Jeffrey. Love hard. Boy. Regrets the real killer. Funeral rain-soaked. Eulogies heartfelt. That night. Attic refuge. We mourned raw, tears. Touches. Reaffirming life in the dark. No space, Jeffrey gasped. Inside me. Urgent. Only this. Relief. But fragile. Back east. Ryan transferred. Mutual. Better fit elsewhere. Jeffrey's call. Boundaries redrawn. My next show. Echoes. Catharsis canvases. Critics raving raw humanity. Spring bloom tentative. Date nights reclaimed. Runs along the Hudson. Hands swinging free. But climax loomed. Jeffrey's big game. Playoffs. Stadium electric. Pre-game jitters. He paced. What if I choke? You won't. Kiss for luck. My talisman. Halftime. Tied. Tension thick. TV commentary. Harper's fire. Does love fuel or falter? Cut to us in the box. My hand on his empty seat. Fourth quarter miracle. Hail Mary pass. Win snatched. Post-game. Field rush. He found me in the throng. Helmet off. Sweat sheened. You! He roared over cheers. Lifting me spin. My win. But betrayal's shadow? One last gasp. Locker room leak. Anonymous email to press. Alleging Jeffrey's fling with Ryan. Fabricated texts. Timestamps false. Scandal 2.0. Headlines screaming. Fury ignited. Jeffrey's presser. Voice steal. Evidence debunked. Hacked account. Traced to disgruntled ex-player. Lies won't break us. Me beside. Arm linked. We've survived worse. Watch us thrive. Backlash boomeranged. Support swelled. League investigation clearing him. Even a Netflix doc pitched on our resilience. Summer healed. Farm inheritance. Raise will. The homestead ours. Weekends there. Hay-scented therapy. Rebuilding fences with literal hands. Scout romped fields. We slow danced on porches. Stars witnesses. Humanity's in the mess. I painted. Inspired. Jeffrey coached summer camps. Kids chanting rainbows. Love deepened, not flawless, but forged. 15 years. Vow renewal under that old oak. Aunt Lila officiating. Friends toasting. Rings exchanged anew. Simple bands etched detour. Changed? Eternally. From naked shock to soul-deep union. Our story. American as apple pie and hard truths. Vow renewals aren't fairy tales. They're gritty sequels. Vows whispered with crow's feet and calloused hands. Promises tempered by tempests weathered. Under the oak. Cicadas chorusing like off-key choir. Aunt Lila's voice quavered through readings. Whitman on comrades. Her addition. Blood or not. Heart knows kin. Friends hooted. Scout barked punctuation. Jeffrey's eyes locked mine. Blue as that first shattered gaze. Again? He murmured. Ring sliding home. Forever this time. Forever started then, I replied, sealing with a kiss salt-tanged from pre-ceremony nerves. Cake smashed faces. Dances till dawn, human. Messy. Ours. Post-renewal glow faded into autumn's amber. Jeffrey's championship run. My retrospective at MoMA. Life accelerating like a runaway truck. Success sweetened, but success sours if unchecked. Whispers started. Teammates' wives at brunches. Sidelong glances. He's distant lately. Jeffrey's bar tabs climbed. Networking nights stretching to mornings. League politics, he'd sigh. Collapsing beside me. Breath mint-masked but eyes evading. I knew the drill, denial's dance. Betrayal's prelude. Therapy check-ins ramped. Elena's office. Now virtual. Her prompts sharper. Triggers? She'd ask. Farm echoes? I'd admit. Storeroom phantom pains. Climax brewed slow. Then volcanic. Away game in Dallas. Me flying solo to a gallery mixer. Text at midnight. Staying extra. Meetings. No call. Gut twisted. I scrolled Insta. Team after-party pics. Jeffrey arm in arm with a sponsor's son. Young. Lithe. Laughs too bright. Caption. Future stars. Rage simmered through the night. Flight home a red-eye reckoning. Apartment at dawn. Bag dropped. I waited, coffee cold. Sketchpad blank. Key turned at noon. He froze in doorway. Suit rumpled. Alex? Early. Truth. Voice monotone. Heart hammering. Or I'm gone. He deflated. Sinking to the floor. Back to wall. It's nothing. Flirtation. Ego stroke after the win. Nothing. Echo of old wounds. Like Mark? Ryan? Worse. Confession cascaded. His name's Tyler. In turn. 22. Said I reminded him of his dad. Stable. Hot. Bitter laugh. Stupid. Drunk text. One kiss airport bar. Impulsive. Stopped it cold. Kiss. The word knifed. After everything? Vows yesterday. Guilt's why I stayed. Hiding. Tears tracked. Rare vulnerability. I'm 40. Alex. Feeling. Invisible. You're soaring. Paintings in museums. I'm yelling at refs. Chasing ghosts of glory. Empathy warred with fury. So cheat? Instead of talk. He surged up. Desperate. No. Mistake. Tyler's gone. Blocked. Reported. But us. I need you to see me. Not the icon. The guy from the hay. Collapse followed. Sobs intertwined. Accusations flung like confetti. Betrayer. Scared fool. Then silence. Elena's voice in my head. Forgive the human, not the act. Dawn to armistice. Leave, I whispered. Not end space. Real this time. He nodded, packing duffel for the farm. Fix me. Then home. Fix us. Door click. Hollow. Month solo. Canvas bled therapy. Shatter. Series of broken mirrors. Sold to a collector who wept viewing. Friends rallied. Dinners dissecting. Runs purging. Dad called. Your old man's been there. Love's choice. Daily. Jeffrey's updates. Farm posts on social. Hay bale sculptures. Aunt Lila's captions. Healing hands. No contact. Perpacked radio silence to rebuild. Fall foliage peaked. MoMA opening loomed. Invite sent. His name. +1. Would he? Night of. Gallery thrumming. Critics swirling. My fractured beauties spotlit. Heart stuttered at door him. Flannel under blazer. Hair tousled farm style. Eyes tentative. Proud? He asked. Voice rough. Devastated. Then whole. Hand extended, he took it. Grip iron. Crowd parted for us. Whispers noting. The Harpers back stronger. Post-show dinner. Intimate bistro. Truths unloaded. Therapy solo, he said. Grief work. Ray. Dad's shadow. My own bullshit. Tyler? Symptom. Fear of fading. I nodded. Fork paused. And me? Forgiving? Daily choice. His smile. Crooked. Like you taught. Reunion ignited slow. Guest room nights. Boundaries blurring to passion reclaimed. Tender. Tentative. Then torrent. Farm weekends wove in. Chores as metaphor. Mending nets literal. Scout approved. Tail thumps endorsement. Humanistic turn. Jeffrey's retirement loomed. Not forced. Chosen. Coaching kids now, he announced at a presser. Me beaming beside. Real wins. My art pivoted. Community murals. Ohio farms reimagined queer and proud. Betrayal's final lesson? Not ender, but evolver. We adopted twin boys from foster care. Wide-eyed wonders named after Ray and a storeroom promise. Eli and Jude. Diapers and deadlines. Chaos choral. 20 years. Anniversary under city lights. Brooklyn Bridge backdrop. Jeffrey, silver-threaded, pulls me close. Caught you naked once. Best accident. Laughter bubbles. Changed everything, and it did into legacy. Not perfect arcs, but lived truths. Love as verb. Forgiveness as art. Humanity in the hug after hurt. Cousins to husbands. Ohio to everywhere. Our story, etched eternal.